Yes, yes, yes. The boys are back. I'm no longer Dolo. You're listening to Knock 'em Out the Box.
Oh,
This is
thank
episode
God.
148. My name is Vinnie Paz, and joining me after 2 episodes off is my
Hiatus.
co-host with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic Left, Right, Left Kid, Mr. Brendan Long, out on another 4th of July vacation.
Yeah.
Welcome
I
back.
I really should bring you to the oh, by the way, this is episode
I was going to say, come on, that's your gimmick.
148 en SAP. And tonight before the show I greeted the great Pablo as Paul because I just do the opposites, okay?
Right. It's
So
opposite night.
it's opposite night. I should bring you guys on a tour of beautiful Massapequa.
And this Brendan says he got to be Oscar in his Spanish
Senor
class.
Oscar.
Senor Oscar, because there's no Brendan in
There's no
Spanish.
Brendan in Spanish. So
Billy and
pick
I were
Oscar.
stuck with our real names, but in Spanish. So yeah,
El
But
Guillermo.
mine
Irish
was such a
Guillermo.
mine wasn't like,
Irish Guillermo.
right.
Guillermo de Irlandese.
Billy, there's a Cuban bull who, when the amateurs have amateur tournaments, that's when they break out. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's when they get. So this guy Mike Perez went to Dublin instead of the U.S. and
He defected. It was Irish Mike Perez.
His name's Irish Mike Perez. So he's a Cuban in Ireland,
Fighting out of
That's
Ireland.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. He got close with Andy, like as friends, B. So I'll still see Mike Perez, and they'll be like,
Irish
oh,
Mike. Yeah.
But him and Andy, I think he might help Andy.
Oh yeah.
As he's now a coach.
Oh, that's
Andy?
cool. Yeah.
Andy Lee, I'm talking about. Yeah, This is 148, guys. Billy is back. Irish Guillermo, sir, Senor Irish Guillermo.
Should we call him Guillermo de Irlandese?
Senor Oscar Long.
Oscar, Senor Oscar. Yeah, that was my name. That was my Spanish name.
I was Vicente, and me and Billy didn't have a choice because our Spanish teachers were like, no, you just use your name, but in Spanish, but there is no brand.
Yeah, but Guillermo for me, kind of had a nice flip to it. It was a little different.
No,
Yeah,
it is dope. No, Vicente is just my name, bro.
Right,
It's like
right.
Vicente Vicenzo. All right, can I get some flavor here? Like
Right.
a switch up, John. Like I wanted something illmatic, like a boxer with a crazy name.
Well, so did you guys have in my Spanish class, I had Puerto Rican and Colombian kids in my Spanish class who
The Spanish kids in my class failed as bad as me because their Spanish is so bad.
yeah, but what I'm saying is I had kids in my class named Wilson.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
of course.
their first
There's
name.
these non-Spanish names that Spanish people from the islands or South America, like not people in Spain.
A kid named Wilson.
Yes, there's Mad Wilsons. There's these names you always have a Gabi,
English first names.
Their name's Gabriel because it's biblical. So you have
Yeah.
Mad Gabbies, Mad Wilson, but you'll have these names that aren't.
I like how they don't there's no. And shout out to my Latino folks because my favorite part is that they just cut to the chase, we're naming this motherfucker Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your name's like Jesus Ramos. I'm like, well,
Jesus. Call him Jesus. Yeah, and then of course, because we can't pronounce it, and when you're 5, you're like, oh, that's my boy Jesus and my boy Angel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Angel and Jesus.
I mean, I can't even keep track. You got to start giving your Latino homies names because everyone's named blank. It's like an Italian. There's 9,000 Vinny, so everyone's got to have a name.
Yeah.
When that bozo jerk job Vin Diesel blew up, my cousin just started calling me Diesel just for what's it called sake.
He was a breakdancer, that Vin Diesel.
Yeah, he was. He was ahead. But
he's Kwame's cousin.
So I hear Kwame lives in Yaden.
What?
Yaden. It's like right outside of West Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. He lived on the block of this lady. You would pull up and beep, and she would come out and pull her cans out and go back into the crib. You just had to go, but it was a dead end. So there was some tomfoolery if you got clipped. So I would make Pablo, I'd be like, bro, turn around before we beep. Man, I don't want to be aiming towards the dead end.
Towards the dead end
comes out, you know what I mean? Like blaming. But Kwame, when the rhythm blew up,
he lived
here.
Wow.
because what's his name was his
That's a fun.
DJ.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, it is a fun. There's a lot of Philadelphians don't know that. Like basically, only people from like the West Philly area know that
Right.
because it's the closest thing. Yeah, guys, we're back. I went for Dolo last week. Jokes aside, Billy and B had some stuff to catch up on work wise. So it's never nearly as fun, but it
I was
needs to be
actually I was
fun.
actually in where Kwame was born. I was actually in East Elmhurst.
Oh, all right.
I was
All right.
I was stuck in Queens of Brooklyn.
Is there anything that we talked about that I talked about last week that you saw on the ledger that you wanted to just like an addendum to? Like, we'll probably touch it on news. No puff.
Yeah.
Oh, are we? What's up with no Sean Combs, no puff anymore? This guy ate the case.
Right.
Well, yeah. So what happened? He got convicted of the 2 lesser charges.
So there was
What do you mean?
5 charges. 3 of them he was getting roofed. 2 of them are very serious. But when you got lawyers like him, they're both charges of 10 years maxed out. I I have a couple lawyers that are friends. I have a couple lawyers that are family. And they were like, he's been in over a year. Each charge is 10 years max. He's not gonna get that.
No, he's not going to get 10.
Yeah. My cousin was like, 2 things are gonna happen. He's gonna get time served or get 2 years, and with
I
time
heard
served,
it'll
we'll
be
do like
3.
6 months.
Yeah. So I was at one of my friends is a powerful criminal defense attorney. And
Okay.
I was at his house on Saturday. And I asked him about it, and he said,
Look at Guillermo's
How powerful? How powerful we talking?
pretty powerful. I'll send you
Pretty.
Look, let's
powerful.
talk turkey. What can he get me out of?
he basically said,
What can we do?
Okay. Like
he
that.
basically said, just, and this is consistent with a lot of cases. What happens is the DA gets overzealous and overcharges these people. So like for instance is always, say you had drinks on 4th of July, you went
Yeah.
out and you crashed into someone and God forbid
Yeah.
someone died,
Yeah,
but
of
they
course.
charged you with murder 1.
Right.
Well,
It's
you're not
like-
going to get convicted of murder
yeah, because
1,
it's vehicular
but
homicide. so
had
you'll
they
deal.
charged you with the right charge, you would have gotten convicted.
Sure, and done
So-
in real time.
What he had said about 6 months ago, he said they charged him incorrectly. They got happy that they got him on shit,
Yeah,
and then
they got hotsy-totsy.
started charging him with like RICO and
Yeah, because they were like, let's roof this piece of shit, because we
Right.
all know what he's done.
he's a piece of shit.
So
Right. So
here's
his-
what I said. As someone who's I don't understand law like the way a criminal attorney did. What I did was very early on. I said to both of you guys, they're day one, they're dropping the ball. They're trying to get info from this Cassie, who was a part of all of this.
Right.
That's how you're starting this. The DA's fumbling everything. The prosecutor's fumbling the case.
Now if they were Cassie would have been more useful if they were charging him with like domestic abuse.
Of
But
course.
what happened was if there were charges with that, they were past the statute of limitations, which is why that video got released when it did, because it was old
Exactly.
and they couldn't. He did that strategery
Mm-hmm.
to distract us from the other stuff. But here's the thing. Now, criminally, yes, he may walk. That don't mean shit civilly.
No, civilly, he's gonna get killed. I didn't mean that literally.
Yeah.
Literally, civilly, he's gonna get murdered by the lawsuits, and it doesn't have to be beyond a reasonable doubt.
No, and it's gonna be nonstop for the rest of
nonstop
his
until
life.
he taps. He's got to be at least 10 years older than us, right?
Yes.
Right. So he's probably got, max 20, 25 more years. He's going to get clobbered until then.
Right.
And let's not take out the element that may or not rear its head. And that is when you're dealing with some of these people might be from the streets, someone might just try to boom him. Because my prediction was he gets no time, but someone's going to chip him. You know what I mean?
We'll see. I mean,
one of those females that he did something real foul to that we're not going to say on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we know that. Or someone that saw that Cassie video and was just like, I'm getting that lick back just because, like, I don't believe. You know what I mean?
You don't.
Or I said to my barber, I was like, bro, if this is an old school greaseball judge who's conservative, he might have seen that video and just roof him anyway.
Yeah,
You're getting 20.
Right.
And no,
Right.
no, it's not because of that video. And
Yeah.
just 10 toes down. No,
We'll
yeah, I'm just
we'll
backing
see
you
what
up.
happens at sentencing, but yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's pretty fucking wild.
It is.
Um,
It is.
with that said,
But I can't say I'm surprised from what we all spoke about sideways. It's like this guy's a piece of shit. We all know that. But this case is flimsy. And what you are saying went down is fucking gross. It's not illegal.
no,
You know what I mean?
it's no. I again, I think maybe I don't understand it. The whole,
But 50 summed
but
everything up.
like
He the Tef,
trafficking.
he's the Puff is the Teflon Don, the gay John Gotti is the
Like,
hardest bar to come up
That's
with.
what he said.
Yes, he put it. Yo, your man's beat that case. He's the Teflon Don, the gay John Gotti.
Okay, John Gotti.
Pretty brilliant.
All right. Well, I'm still saying no Puff.
We must keep it alive because nothing has changed in that.
No,
Well, he's proven to be
Right.
Puff. Like
Yeah.
you can say that because
Right.
he's
Okay. We'll start off with something we already. It's more of an I told you so.
I know.
Tyson Fury is set to come out of retirement and return to boxing in 2026. Turki Al-Sheikh is confirmed. He said, I talked with him and I have his word to have him in Riyadh season of 2026. We have a rabbit to hunt. I mean, we never took the thing serious.
Who cares? He's a gypsy though, so he may just be like, I take your money and I'm gonna run.
And just run.
Yeah.
David Benavidez will defend his WBC light heavyweight world title against Anthony Yard as he makes his Riyadh season debut in November. Since getting destroyed by Beterbiev, this Anthony Yard has fought Jorge Silva, Marco Nikolic, Ralph Wilkins, and Lyndon Arthur. So how you get rewarded for those wins. And all I saw on the Ring magazine comments was how great this is. And the first thing I said was how shit it was. And I told you, B, I don't like this Callum Smith fight. He's going to beat shit down his leg. And you said, no, bro, Callum Smith's good. And it's a worthy opponent. And I shit on that. I take it all back now because this is what was. Well, how did this happen, Brendan? And
I don't know. And why did this happen? I thought
that's why Smith was.
Callum Smith looked had fight of the night in February against Buatsi.
I saw interviewed him and I saw the footage. It wasn't in print. And he's like, his team is smart. My team is smart. We're talking right now.
I don't know how maybe they're going to find him another opponent to then.
I figured you got the drop on this because
I didn't.
Some people wrapped up.
No, I don't know anything about it.
I don't either. We'll talk to our guy over in Saudi who always has something for us regarding this. I'll say, yo, do you know why the Callum Smith thing fell through?
The only thing I can think of is they offered Callum Smith money and Callum Smith didn't like the money and can make that money elsewhere.
Do you think he can because he's enough of a name?
I think he thinks he can. So,
I do too. No, I think he.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you, for instance, I heard that the Floyd Schofield, Tevin Farmer purses were $125 a piece. 125,000 a piece.
Wow.
So if it's anything, if he's paying like opponent wages, meaning Turkey, these guys like, I'm not going to fucking Riyadh for
and paying my guy this and paying my camp this,
and that's like, they shall remain nameless. But in the last few fights, I've been able to talk to fighters, and they all hate going over to Riyadh. I'm
not coming home with $50,000, Brandon. I don't care who I am.
I'm not. No, if I'm going to fly 20 hours, sacrifice my weight, possibly get sick like Dubois.
Right. How many weeks is smart to get there early?
By the way, and none of them can afford that.
Right.
So when I was talking to him, like, I don't go early.
Brandon, who can? So then you go. Your body chemistry is fucked.
That's what they said.
It's how. Leonard, look, I'm not an excuse maker for anybody, but when you look at the rematch and look at how good he was when it happened, Lennox Lewis fucked around and found out and went to Africa while Hasim Rahman was there for a month getting acclimated to everything. The time changer and the elevation, it's like I almost tap when I go right into Denver.
Right.
I have to drink mad waters.
So
water is the only thing that'll help.
One of the things that was told to me about Riyadh was this. There's nothing to do unless you like to play golf. So there's no distraction. You can't go there for a month because there's nothing to fucking do.
Well, look,
There's shopping malls and golf. And if you don't play golf, and if it's too hot, meaning you got to stay, hydrated,
of
but at the same time
course.
you're losing weight.
Yes.
So what was told to me was it's just like complete boredom.
It's
It,
beautiful. There's
it,
mad restaurants, but
you can't
it's
eat
well, here's the right. You
if you're
can't eat because
making
you have
weight.
to make weight. But what I wanted to sort of explain to people that might not understand when you look at that region, right? And it's a religious one. So it's like Abu Dhabi and Dubai, they just westernized it and it's a tourist attraction and you
Yeah,
can do anything to the point where it's like, oh, that's the Middle East and Vegas. Like, I might get in trouble. So maybe you might want to wait it
right.
out before you get there. But they are, they have, look, politically speaking, okay, it's a Muslim country. We all know that, Saudi, it's
Yeah,
Mecca, Medina there. But what has happened is they have become more liberal in a variety of ways outside
sure.
of drugs and alcohol. Like Big Iggy Azalea is playing there. There are
Yeah,
raves.
women can drive again.
Yeah, and a lot. It's of all those countries, that's the one that has the most misconception about the culture.
I'm just saying what was told to me.
No, I'm not
What?
telling
Yeah.
those guys they're wrong. I'm just saying, for the sake of this little bit of us talking about it,
Hmm.
the one I can back up for them is there's no nightlife. And I don't mean they want to go out and get drunk or do drugs. That's not what I'm implying. They're implying. It's just like they're building the city up. It is beautiful. There's
Yeah.
like restaurants. Muta, Napoleon from the Outlaws, like lives there permanently. He opened up like a halal brisket and barbecue spot that's like beautiful. Everyone goes there, but it's like, what's there to do past a certain time? Like, not really nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
what
And
was?
you don't have to be a nightlife guy who wants to
No, so,
drink.
but like just to go kick it, to go like see like if you're not A, Muslim, right?
Yeah,
And B, you're not into golf,
right.
this is what was told to me. Like if you don't like
Yeah,
playing golf as a distraction
right,
and you don't want to go see religious sites,
right.
it's just kind of it's
Yeah, because if
not.
you're if you are Muslim, you're gonna be like, all right, so we're gonna go do Hajj,
Yeah,
or we're gonna do Umrah and go over there. So when our guys there, a lot of times, uh, like whether it's Badu Jack is Muslim or someone's Muslim over there, they'll just take the quick flight,
right.
and go to Mecca, and that's like a huge thing. If you're Muslim, if you're
Sure.
not, or you're not religious at all, you're like, bro, I don't golf.
And on top of it, getting your team there is very expensive.
I mean, that's the
And
biggest thing that you and
and
I are
not
talking about, I think.
not everybody on your team wants to go. So
No,
it's not like, hey everybody, like let's go to Chicago, let's go to Miami, let's go to
yeah.
New York, let's go to Philly, let's go to
No, it's
Vegas.
not like that at all
No,
on any
no.
level. At any level. It's
It's that these are some of the issues in terms of like what I was going to say was I, these are just these are just things that I am sort of fabricating or coming up with that could be a possibility of ruining a fight or why a fight would be called off or why a fighter goes, well, no, I'm certainly not going to do that for X amount of dollars.
right. And that's what you and I think are
Yeah,
happening. Okay,
yeah,
if you put 200 grand in front of Callum Smith and says, okay, so the UK government's going to take half.
right.
Now I'm down to 100, 10% manager, 10% this, 10% that.
And I got to go alone.
Right. So now I'm looking at coming home with 70K for fighting a Mexican monster
Right.
in a place that most of my team doesn't want to be with.
Right.
I have to go early and get acclimated. If I want to bring my team, that's on my dime. So now I'm coming home probably with $40,000 to get punched in the face by a top 10 pound for pound
Right.
fighter. No, you
Yeah.
gotta. I have to be. This is me saying Callum Smith in my
Yeah.
head. You have to give me my kids are good type money. Or
Right.
you and I have had personal conversations. You and I call it life-changing money. And by that, we mean like we're good and don't have to stress stuff. And when
Right.
that bag comes to you, your life does change.
It's a hard pill to swallow for a world champion caliber guy to be brought in as an opponent halfway across the
Absolutely.
world. So it's like,
Absolutely.
you know what, man? As an honor it would be to possibly fight a Dave Benavidez. I'm not
Who
gonna.
was the kid we liked that they brought in literally on one day to fight Shakur? Patty? Is that his nickname?
Oh, I know
Who's Patty Donovan?
the plumber.
Right, but who's Patty Donovan? That's not him.
No, no, that's not him.
Like, that kid was hype. He was like, yeah, I'll go. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
of course I'll go. Callum Smith has fought at the world level. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
a world-class guy.
Josh Padley, pretty good. You called him Patty. Josh Padley.
Okay, sorry.
You're very close. That's way closer than I was. I was calling him, I don't know. I just didn't even drew a blank.
Nah, I just remember me and you both liked him. He was just like, I fucking did this on one day, and then he packs someone up in his second fight, and he's just a lunch pail guy. Probably won't be a champion. But he also was ringside, how the zone has the 3 fighters ringside when they're in the UK. He was one of them. It was a sweet article.
Yeah, he legit is a tradesman.
Yeah, it's hard not to like that kid.
Right.
So guys, we'll see if we're right about that, and why Anthony Yard, another guy from the UK, is down to go do this. You know what I mean? As opposed to Anthony Yard fought Beterbiev, so it's not like he hasn't been in their world class. You know what I mean? Whether he is up for debate. I mean,
fought Kovalev.
Yes.
Fought Beterbiev. He fought.
He's been in there real. So
yeah.
I guess Callum Smith. I think B said it best. I'll bet they can make a pretty good fight and sell out a place there the way the Catterall does. Those guys are local legends. Speaking of which, with Beterbiev, the Bivol Beterbiev trilogy fight for Ring Magazine Light Heavyweight Championship was on the schedule for November Riyadh season. However, Bivol and Beterbiev both asked Turki Al-Sheikh to hold the fight in Russia with different organizers. Turki Al-Sheikh gave his blessing. Now, it's unclear when the third fight will happen. Then, after I wrote this, Beterbiev cut a promo. Like, yo, I'm going to be 41 in January. What is going on here? Why is this not happening?
Yeah.
So, look, if you ask, all right, like you just said, Brandon, we don't want to do it in Riyadh for a variety of reasons. Hey, we're both Russian. We could probably do 100,000 soccer stadium.
Right.
Yeah, which they can. They can.
Sure.
So if that's where their mind is at, well, then their managers and promoters that existed before Riyadh season did, that's who it's on now. Now, don't cut a promo on him now. Because whether you like him, dislike him, I'm not talking about us. I mean, the boxing world. Whether you like him or don't, he gets shit done.
Sure.
So they said we want to do this in Russia. Okay, no problem. It's not going to be a Riyadh card, you know what I mean? A Riyadh season thing. Or is it? Do they still want his help? I don't know. I don't know where this stands. It seems like a question mark to me. And the bigger question mark, it was left for me when Beterbiev was like, yo, what's happening, man? I'm not getting young.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm not getting
well, didn't he kind of say like Bivol wants to push it back again?
He was just
implicating.
There was implications there. He did it. Those dudes are they're too classy to just shit on anyone. But he was basically like, "Why am I waiting?" And what's the implication there? That you're waiting on him. You know what I mean? If you're both saying you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack Rafferty will defend his British and Commonwealth super lightweight titles against Mark Chamberlain on August 23rd in Altrincham, UK. The reason I bring this up is because, do you remember Jack Rafferty? He's the white kid with the braids.
Yeah, I just want to. Can I just read the thing from Bivol?
Please.
From Beterbiev?
Please.
Okay. Here we go. He says, I received hundreds of questions about the third fight. That's why I decided to answer here. As you know, the first fight for the absolute champion title took place in October last year. After 5 years of attempts to unify the belts, it was still successful. The day after the first fight, we agreed on a rematch, which was to take place within 4 months, despite the fact that I was after the operation. This is like direct translation, by the way. Yeah. Despite the fact that I was after the operation and my coach and doctor were categorically against such an early rematch. After the second fight, I immediately showed interest in an early third fight. And
Yeah.
at first, there were rumors about the fight in August. But my opponent said in an interview that he wanted to hold it in late autumn, then at the end of the year. And now it is completely unknown when. How old do I have to be that we can fight for the third time? Question mark. So I think
Okay.
he's implicating Bivol is
Yeah. That's more
this was right from but guys, this is from Rings
yeah, that's a bit more direct than the one I saw. He mentioned I'll be 41, meaning like
yeah.
2026. So it could have been the same promo in a different part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's from his IG. That was his IG caption.
Okay. So yeah, look,
Sorry to
Jack
interrupt
Rafferty
you.
is defending the British and Commonwealth super lightweight titles against Mark Chamberlain, August 23rd, Altrincham, UK. The reason I bring this up is because the last two times Jack Rafferty fought, he's a white kid with the braids, the long braids,
Uh-huh.
and he's undefeated, and he's at the amount of fights and age where you got to start fighting real guys. And I said to you, B, can you keep a guy and just keep him a local hero? Because this guy gets packed up by
Yeah.
real guys at 140, and the next fight is not a real guy. So they better keep this.
Mark Chamberlain was supposed who did Mark Chamberlain beat and then lose to?
I'm just saying,
supposed,
at 31 years old, and it doesn't he have close to? He might have 28 fights.
Yeah, he
Jack
does. Yeah. Remember we said that? We were like, this guy's got a lot of fucking fights.
Right. So now is the time that when we're talking about people, it's time to step up, guys.
So that's Chamberlain lost to Padley. That's who Mark Chamberlain lost to, was Josh Padley.
Before or after Shakur?
Before Shakur. That's why Padley got that's where
that's why he
was a huge
named.
upset. It was a massive upset.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if you saw this because we've been eye rolling this guy for years. So I'm gonna guess you didn't, only because you didn't text me. Gary Russell Jr. is set to make his return to the ring after
I didn't see
3.5 years away versus Hugo Castaneda on the Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios undercard on July 19th. Mark Magsayo versus Jorge Mata Cuellar and David Picasso versus Kayansuke Kameda have also been added to that card, that undercard.
Mark Magsayo, when was the last time he fought?
Anything next to Gary Russell Jr. is going to see.
It seems like yesterday.
He probably fought. Didn't he beat Gary Russell Jr.? That might be the last time they both fought.
He did beat him.
I think he fought one time after that and lost. So wasn't that for?
No, he actually fought quite a bit. Hang on.
Okay. I thought that was for a belt.
He lost to Ugly Ray Vargas.
Mm-hmm. That's where Ray Vargas won that belt that he's fucking been carrying for fucking holding hostage.
Bro, Gary Russell fight was January 22.
Wow. Wow.
All right, so he then lost to Ray Vargas. He lost to let me see. All right, we got Ray Vargas.
This is Mike Sire,
he loses,
right?
Yeah, he loses to Brandon Figueroa. He then beats Isaac Avalar.
Mm-hmm.
He beats Eduardo Ramirez and Brian Mercado. A 17-6, a 28-3-3, and an 11-6-1, which is why we haven't heard about him.
Right.
All right.
Right.
These fights took place in Thunder Studios, your favorite new spot.
Place. Yeah.
MGM Grand. Let's see. Who was the Eduardo? That had to be on something. That was on Davis Martin.
Okay.
So that fight's already over a year old. Okay.
Right. It was right about now, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he fought Brian Mercado at Vinny Paz's favorite Thunder Studios. Brian Mercado was on, let me see, was he the headliner?
So it's going to be what, like 13 or 14 months when Roach Tank fight that rematch?
Yeah, something like that.
And both young, what a fucking
waste. So
a waste of so many things.
Gary Russell Jr., for perspective, he is the last time he fought. If you were graduating high school, it would have been when you're going into your freshman year.
Right. You're now in college.
You're in college. This your formative. He fought the last time where some people's formative
I
year.
think you're about to start college. Like
Yes,
you're about to get your
that's
parents
what
to
I'm
move you
saying.
in the last time Gary Russell fought.
Your mom is crying at your college dorm, but trying to hold it in and be strong.
I
And your
wonder
dad's
if he goes on the list from, it's got to be over a year at this point, of someone asked us in mail, just off the head, or do a whole episode for us of what ifs in boxing. You know, will he be one? Because
yeah,
he's already passed it.
he's
If you
past it.
if you've missed 4 years of your prime, the only person to pull that off was Ali. To miss 4 years of
Right.
your prime and still become an all-time great, right?
Yeah,
Would you
he's
say I'm
cooked.
wrong in that?
It's funny. We got a what if.
So be the last piece of news. I have three more pieces of news, but the last one is a summation of the two before it. So I'll just cut those two and read this one as one. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
a multi-tiered announcement. The Ring 4 Night of Champions will take place on November 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, exclusively on DAZN, with David Benavidez defending his WBC light heavyweight world title against Anthony Yarde in the main event. The undercard will be Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr., Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes for that, I think it's the WBO title, and Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Puma Martinez, who we think is a gun. We've been calling for that, or not calling for it, but hoping for it.
Hoping.
They're just assuming Bam's gonna get by his guy,
Yep.
and he's no joke.
No
So,
joke.
Cafu's
That's great.
no joke.
No.
That is look, man. That's a great card.
Great
That's not a
card.
good card. That's
I
a
just hope
great.
that doesn't. You know what I mean? You got to do the wishful thinking. You know what I'm saying? That nothing happens, no injuries.
Yeah, in what B? So we're in 7 now. That's November's 11. We got 4 months.
4 months.
4 months and a half almost. You know,
So
four and a half months
four
for
and a
things
half
to
months.
happen.
Right.
So as far as news, that's what's going on. Yeah, and Brendan, let's not forget, you said nothing happens. Bam's about to fight. Some of
That's
those
what I'm
guys
saying.
aren't. Yeah, so a cut or a broken hand.
I don't even want to like jinx
We're
it.
about to get into some fights where, bro, that Jack Catterall cut is not healing anytime soon,
No.
and he's not a spring chicken. And someone's gonna throw a stiff jab in the first round of his comeback fight, and it's gonna open up. Anyway, we're gonna get into that.
Nasty cut.
I covered this, and I just want to touch on this because B, I think we have a 148 episode first. I think we have the first Pazzi prospect. This is an alliteration, is when you say the same letter, right?
Yeah. Same.
Pazzi prospect got packed up. I think this is the first time, the first one of if you look at my prospects. So I was speaking
packed up Pazzi prospect.
Packed up Pazzi prospect. We were talking about I talked about Albert Batagaziev, 12-0 at 8 KOs versus Jazz Dickens. He's been around forever.
Yeah.
James Dickens, 35-5. This was in Turkey. I said on the episode I did alone, I didn't understand why. Did you see any of this, B? Even in clips?
I didn't see it.
It's in Istanbul. It's in this little venue that's like the size of Thunder, Brendan, but like mad new looking. It looked like there were like 50 people there, and then another 50 that were flown in to be there because this was Riyadh season and I didn't know it. So there's like 100 people there, and 50 of them are like the biggest stars in boxing. Like Bud sitting next to Fury talking, watching fights of people.
Okay.
Bro, it goes like a fighter, a 4-rounder of people you never heard of, then 2 girls you never heard of, then a literal bare knuckle fight, then
in the same ring,
same ring, then 2 guys you never heard of, then a bare knuckle fight, then the main event. And they're cutting to, then they cut to Ben Whitaker, then they cut to Canelo, then they cut to, someone flew everyone in.
I'm looking at it now.
To be here. It was so fucking bizarre. It was on about 2 p.m. U.S. time. which is around 8 or 9 in Istanbul. Beautiful city, by the way. One of my favorite cities in the world. Similar to what you were talking about, Riyadh. B.
Right.
It isn't a Muslim country in terms of law, but it is a Muslim country. 99% of the people there. But the one side of the river, there's mad nightlife. And the one side is a more traditional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but I am saying if you're smart and someone like Turkey says, you want to come to Istanbul, you go. I'm telling you, it's that beautiful and it's that lit for a variety of reasons. If you're someone who likes sightseeing, it's lit. If you like the nightlife, it's quadruple lit. But it was odd to watch, B. So
I'm watching. I got it up now. I'm watching the 4th round.
Hey, yo.
Oh,
guys. Jazza Dinkins has been around forever. He fought Kid Galahad twice, a prime Ragondial. This was for a WB interim belt. It has to be the thing that Lamont Roach had that's floating around. I'm guessing because it's 130. So look, Bader Ghazayev was one of my Pazzi prospects. Jazza Dinkins comes out of the locker room, B, for his ring walk, looking like he just went 15 rounds with Arnie Shavers. I don't know if you've seen him lately.
His face looks just destroyed, and his nose on the other side of his face.
His nose is on the other side of it. Everything's destroyed. I'm chuckling to myself, going, "This is going to be worse than I predicted on the show." I said, "Oh, Jazz Dinkins going to get packed up in the second half of the fight. Going to get set up with a body shot." Because Bader Ghazayev, the only real name you would remember, B, that he fought. Remember Joan O'Carroll? He's a real tough Irish guy.
Guy fought Tevin.
Yeah, exactly. I saw Bader Ghazayev hurt a couple times, and I only saw one full fight and then clips. You know what I mean? I just like how he moved in there and the amateur background. I never saw a fighter look like this before the bell rang. Jazza Dinkins. Never in my life, ever. Bader Ghazayev doubling the jab, throwing a straight left to the belly, goes up and down with the jab, awkward stance, crouches down and takes his height away, which I don't like, but he could be doing that to give the opponent a smaller target. I don't know. As I said last week, very traditional Euro style, which we say often is dead, but it isn't with this guy. It looks like an 80s Euro fighter.
Yeah.
Jazza Dinkins was doing much better than I anticipated. I assumed he was washed. Sat in the pocket, landed some shots of his own. Didn't look shop-worn. Was in great shape besides looking like he just got beat up by, like I said, Ernie Shavers, whoever. Fun little fight through 3. In the 4th, Jazza Dinkins lands a straight left hand right on the button that short circuits Bader Ghazayev. Instead of taking his time, he does that thing we hate. He jumps right up, rocked right up because his brain, from so many years of being in the sports, went get up instead of getting to the knee. Then
you got to know how to get knocked down.
Got to know how.
They can't prepare for it.
They can't. They can't. Instead, he takes his time instead of gather himself, pops right up, and he's gone. B. I go, oh shit. It's going to be the first Pazzi prospect to get packed up.
I just watched it.
Yeah, I mean it's ugly. It's ugly. He got his ass
kicked.
Fucked up. Get credit is due. Jazza Dinkins jumps all over him, and the corner throws in the towel.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken, he's the first Pazzi prospect to take.
I can't think of another one. But
lastly, I just want to say this real quick, and don't think I'm being like Mudgy, my co-host, and because this guy's a Pazzi prospect. So if anything, I should be doing the opposite and making excuses for him. I have a weird feeling this is an Amir Khan, and he's cooked off of one loss.
It didn't look good, bro.
He's always going to be one punch away from getting chinned. Those fights that you forget where you go, Amir Khan's looking good. He's ripping off 6-punch combinations on Canelo that people fucking forget. You know the fight I always go back to long. It's the Tyson Bolta. But let's go to Canelo. I'll use Canelo twice. Canelo, Sergey Kovalev. People forget that Kovalev was jabbing the fuck out of him and looking good. I had him up when he got caught.
I had him up. The Khan one to me was a little different in terms of, or at least the way I viewed it was, he's going to set a trap because he knows he doesn't have to do much.
And he can eat these shots the same way that Kell Brook did with G. So if you
Yeah.
viewed it that way, that's how I viewed. I mean, yo, Kell Brook was landing 3, 4, 5 punch combinations.
I think for the Kell Brook fight with Triple G was like, damn, these little welters are fucking fast.
Fast. They're
Hard to get his
fast.
timing. He's,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm
he's
just
fast and
comparatively,
yeah,
I think both guys were like, I can eat these shots. I'm not comparing
definitely,
the fights as much as
definitely.
I am.
I think Triple G always had that philosophy.
Yeah, sure.
I can,
Even with big guys who can
yeah,
punch, I'm
I
gonna just
could just eat. You know, it's not that bad.
yeah, a little bit Chavez Mexican style thrown in
Correct.
there. Yeah. But B, okay, the year of the upset continues, by the way, with that. You know, it's he's not a
Yeah,
big star, but he was a Riyadh season guy, a Turkey
sure.
Al-Sheikh guy. You don't
Yeah.
fly stars from around the world if you didn't have high hopes for these guys. And
No,
B, when they cut to the crowd,
I just
dudes
saw
who
it.
clearly know him, like as a person, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like had the fuck. I mean, dudes I didn't think would know.
Is
Like,
he's Muslim, the guy?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw guys in thobes going like,
Yes, yes, which
you
was
know,
definitely, yeah,
like
yeah.
dismissing him.
Yes, Ben Whitaker looks salty, so he must get some work in the UK
Yeah.
too. Um, but B, do we know anything about this little venue? And is there plan to like
I don't know
because it's
shit about it.
full?
I'm gonna look it up
So,
now.
all right, so Istanbul is in Europe, which is closer to guys
Istanbul.
than Riyadh. I'm just thinking out loud, being was thinking out. I wanted to text you and write, bro, there's footy teams in Turkey. They
Yeah.
could hold big shows. They want to do small club-ish type shows, a little bit bigger than a
The
club.
commission is the Turkish Professional Boxing Commission.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, so
Rixos.
B, were you able to watch the whole card from Manchester, or just did you just watch what you felt like you needed to for the short show?
I just watched what I felt like I needed
Okay,
to.
let me go through this and then you'll catch up to me. So just do you hear anything that I'm saying that you disagree with? You probably will right off the gate. Leo Atang, 18 years old. Pro debut, 5-time national champion, EU under 19 gold medalist. This kid's got a pedigree. Versus Milan Paunov, 7-15 with 5 knockouts, heavyweights. A Tang up and down with the jab, which I love, especially from a kid that's 18 years old. Great punch selection, good feet, can bounce around a little, but when he sits down on his shots, he's going to hurt you. Very smart and mature. Left hook down to the body, folded Paunov up. He got up. Liu Atang let his hands go, was pummeling Paunov, and the ref saw enough. That was it. Really nice kid, good looking kid, articulate. What a sweetheart. This is the part where you might go, roll your eyes. Everything everyone thinks about Moses Itauma, that's how I feel about Leo Atang.
Well,
so just
come
switch it
on.
all over to
He fought a meatball who's 7-15. Come on.
Basically up until the
Who's 41, by the way.
up until he was a pig. Up until
He's
this what's his name? Dillian White. Itauma has fought Milan Paunovs. 10, 11, 12 of them.
Oh, you know who beat what fucking weight was that at? That guy David Allen.
Dave Allen from who he beat that guy.
He beat that
He's apparently like the Joe Hip
Johnny
of Europe,
Fisher. Yeah.
you know?
No, but he beat that Milan Paunov.
No, that's who I mean.
Yeah.
That guy is like a Joe Hip type guy over there, 20 plus fights. He should give guys rounds, but he got packed up by this kid. This kid, Leo Atang, is everything Moses Itauma they think it's going to be.
Okay.
The smile on this kid. We talked one episode that we had very little to talk about in depth about certain people being a fucking wet dream for a promoter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the kid Coach Marco sunned me on and said, no, you're all wrong about that kid. He's got the 2 names. Terramona.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you're wrong about him. And you and I said, look, if he keeps hitting people this hard, knocking them out, and he's this good of a promo, the guy's doing the dance in there, the Pacific Islander dance, and then his promos are brilliant.
It's fun.
It's fun. So This kid's like that personality wise. Look, I want a collision course. What's Italma, 19 or did he turn 20?
Moses Telma. Moses Italma is 21. Well, he'll be 20. He'll be 21.
Is everyone that's really solid going to be completely gone by 2028 at heavyweight? Like me and you, our personal top 5. Are any of them here in 2028?
Dubois could be.
He's young. He's very young. I think he's in his mid-20s. So Usyk's gone. Fury's gone. AJ is what? 75-25 in the favor of being
he'll be gone. He'll be gone.
Parker's probably gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is everything they think about Moses Itama. That's what I think about Leo Tang.
Okay.
UK guys, write me in and yell at me that I think Leo Tang with 1 round is better than him. Pat Brown, 2-time national champion, 2024 Olympian, 2-0, 2 KOs versus Lewis Oakford, 6-2, 0 KOs.
They got high hopes for Pat Brown.
Very high hopes. Pat Brown is really, this is a cruiserweight, really physically strong, B. When we talked about Brian Norman, like we're not guy using the power guy.
Yeah.
We're power, strong. That dad strength. Throw shots to behead you. I'm actually shocked, Brendan. Did you see either of his first 2 fights? Because they were they're big. Okay. He's very crude, man, considering all that amateur experience.
All that, he's like,
this guy's gonna be like a wizard. He's not.
No.
He's open all day for counters. So I'm willing to bet that his matchroom steps up. He'll be in some fun fights. Another great kid for whatever it is. Really good kid. I don't think Eddie wants to really deal with dickheads as far as like human beings.
Doesn't seem like it.
Like, I think he's got no time for that. Brandon's guy, Joe, the Welsh wizard, Cordina.
Joe Cordina.
17-1, 9 KOs.
Joey C.
Yep. Been inactive for 14 months since the loss to Apache Kakachi. Versus Jared Gonzalez, 24 years old from Monterrey, Mexico, 17-1, 13 KOs. I don't care who you fought, 17-1, 13 KOs when you're from Mexico. You can punch, a little nervous. This is for a trinket, WBO Global Welterweight title, lightweight title. When Brendan and I tell you guys about the trinkets and how on some level they mean something, the winner of this trinket, you already go to top 15 at 135, which means you might get a shot at someone who wants a softer touch.
Right.
Real quick, Cordina invited a bunch of kids to the gym to talk to them about like not getting into trouble and how he was a jerk off when he was younger and how the gym saved his life and was like not doing it for cameras. You know, he was giving them like a heart to heart. And then he let them stay for his training session. So good on him.
Then he sparred them all one at a time.
He hit each of them in the face. Cordina, physically speaking, to me, looked much better at 35. Physically.
Yeah.
He didn't look drained. He looked strong. He was on his toes.
He's a tall 30. He's 5'9".
I don't know how he made 30.
I don't either.
He did. He was boxing well. I bust B's balls about Cordina because it's funny, but he's good. He's an operator in there. Really good amateur, Olympian, former champion. I mean,
very smooth.
Guys, smooth guy. Like we talk about fluidity.
Yeah.
And it's rarity. He's smooth. He was waiting a bit, B. I don't.
He gets hit a lot.
He does. It led to Gonzalez saying, okay, well, if he's not going to throw IM, Gonzalez would throw 5 or 6 punches. At times, Cordina would catch and shoot. I think he was maybe trying to shake off the ring rust and find his rhythm, B.
Yeah.
14 months is a long time. Throwing that good stiff jab, occasionally putting the right behind it. Jared Gonzalez would have small moments of success. The more Cordina pressed the action, the more it forced Gonzalez to work. Then they traded some big shots in the 5th. Like when you said he gets hit a lot, I'm going, oh, he can't do this against real guys up here, man. Not that this kid's not real. He's just a kid. And he's never been in a 10-rounder.
Right.
Yo, Gary Lockett is a really good coach. Real solid, tough fighter when he fought.
Yep.
He is 90 years younger than you think he is. And if I told you right now his age, you'd go, you fucked up and read it wrong.
He's like
by the looks of him.
43, right?
He's older than me.
Gary Lockett.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the
I think
snarl.
his
And that
last
snarl,
fight.
remember?
Yeah, I think his last fight was getting packed up by Kelly
Kelly Pavlik.
Pavlik. I think that was his last fight. I really, really like Gary Lockett as a trainer. I like him as a human being. I always did.
That's his last fight.
He was giving sound instructions that you and I like. Yo, he's doing this, so you do this instead of go
Yeah.
get this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Telling
Yeah.
him what he saw
Yeah.
and how to react to what he saw from Gonzalez. This Gonzalez kid is tough, and I hope someone saw this and gets him some fights. He's a kid, B. He's getting better and learning on the job. Look, when Cordina stays on that jab and controls a little distance, B, it's tough to beat him. But when he abandons it and trades, there's openings. You said it yourself. He gets hit a lot. My way of saying it was there's openings. When he sits there, when he doesn't have to, Cordina does beautiful work to the body. In the eighth, he traded left hooks with Gonzalez, and I don't know why. I don't care who he's fought, Brendan. He has 13 KOs and 17 wins. We just saw the upset with Galaya Fai against a guy like this. You go, a Mexican guy who'll be tough, he'll give us rounds, but he's going to lose. So I'm not trading left hooks with a Mexican with 13 knockouts and 17 victories. I'm not. Why he was, I don't know. Why are you trading with this guy? Do you have any answers? Is this him?
I don't. I think now at 33, too much time at 130 pounds. There's no choice, Vin. I think that the legs aren't there like they were. And I think he, again, and these guys have a fighter spirit. They get hit, they hit back, So I
had 97, 93. But I had some shaky moments in there. We both agreed he gets hit too much. I'm trying to remember other fights, and if I said that, he got hit too much by Kakachi. It's why he lost, but Kakachi's really good. I'm trying to think that Russian kid he fought and beat that was really good. He still is good. He's only got 2 losses. What's that kid's name? Rakimov. He's got some good wins.
Well, that was so he came off the Ogawa win.
That was a great win.
Yeah,
that wasn't a good win. That was a great win.
Right.
Ogawa was really good, and Kakachi's really good, and that Russian kid, the Muslim Russian kid.
Yeah, Rakimov. Yeah, that was a close fight. A lot of people thought that Rakimov won that fight.
No, it was very close.
Very close.
B, judges had this 100 to 90, 99, 91, and 98, 92. As I said, 100 to 97, 93 was my card with some shaky moments. Look, I think going 10 hard rounds was good for Joe Cordina in the long run. But short term, he definitely didn't make a statement. And I'm certainly asking you, do you think everything
because he's my favorite fighter?
Yes. Do you think everything we're talking about is a result of 14 months off and a little bit of he's 33, or the other way around? He's 33 and he took 14 months off. So he comes back against a world-class
at a higher weight
and gets hit a lot at 35.
Right. And then you say to yourself, well, this is why a guy this big was killing himself to live it at an uncomfortable weight. Because he's just so big and would melt down. And now that he's up to 35, it's all right, these guys are a little bigger, stronger. They're more durable. I don't know where Cordina goes from here. That guy's ranked like 200th in the country. Right. Or in the world.
Eddie said post-fight, like 1 or 2 more than a title fight, but that's against the real elite guys. But he said next he's in real.
And I think he could lose the next.
And this belt, which I said earlier, the WBO global lightweight title guarantees you a top 15 ranking. A top 10 guy might be Joe Cordina in the
I mean, if you go and look at the landscape, right?
While you're talking, I'm going to actually find it.
Right. So you could go and look at the landscape of 35 and you can go through it and say, where does Joe Cordina?
Tank Davis, Keyshawn Davis, who left, Shakur, William Zapata, Raymond Morataya, Andy Cruz, Frank Martin, Dennis Berenchek, Tevin, I'm assuming is off after the loss. So put Floyd Schofield there. Does Joe Cordina beat Schofield?
No, I don't think so.
Ring just put Schofield after the Farmer destruction which
I
you
think
didn't
that
get to react to on air at
I
number 8.
I
So I need to update it.
I think that if Dennis Berinchik is still fighting, right?
Yeah, that's a fight to make.
That's a fight to make
I
for
agree.
Cordina. Is Frank Martin getting any action?
I just saw his name and face. I want to say it was like him in a sparring session or something. Isn't he too young to be taking off this long?
Yes. I don't understand. Did he just get a huge bag from fighting
Tank and
Tank and
yeah, I mean
that's it?
PBC, man.
So I
Eh,
would either of those fights I think would be great. Both those.
Joe Cordina, I would put in with Baranchek or 2 loss in a row, Tevin Farmer.
Oof. With Tevin's 4 losses in a row.
Floyd Schofield. Oh, it wasn't a draw, the first Zapata.
No.
Okay, so I had him winning that, but I thought it was a draw. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
my bad. I
poor
misspoke.
Tevin. I think Tevin. We said this after the second Zapata fight. Give him a soft touch.
I know. I just don't think I just don't think he's at the stage where he can do it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Jack Catterall, 30-2, 13 KOs versus Harlem Eubank, 21-0, 9 KOs, WBO International and IBF Intercontinental welterweight titles. Jack Catterall coming out to Stand By Me is one of the hardest things ever. Just an aside. Tons of weird, useless, wasted energy from Harlem Eubank from
That's
the
how he
onset.
fights.
I don't know how you clean that up.
I don't like him. Go ahead and I'm gonna go out and say it. I never really did. I from his dumb first name to the way he fights, I don't like him. Sorry. Sorry, Harlem.
I have no interest in seeing him again. Does that count as not liking him? Would you put that in the same category?
It's a nicer way to say
Like,
that.
I don't ever want to see this guy again.
Yeah, I don't want to see it anymore.
Look, Catterall's got that nice, crisp southpaw 1-2. If he had more dynamite in his hands, he'd probably be a star over there. He already
Sure.
has a fan base. He'd probably be a UK star. Landed some stiff jabs, put the straight left behind it if he saw an opening. Again, Eubank is just very jittery, but it serves no purpose.
None.
Because if you ignore the optics of it as the opponent, just the optics of it, you can just time him. We praised the fact that there's this jitteriness in Israel Madrimov.
Yeah.
There's purpose in it.
Yeah, there's purpose in it. This is just I don't
bad
know.
to watch. I can't see him being in a good fight with anyone. I know Catterall is not this slugger.
Yeah, it's not like Catterall. Yeah, we're
guy.
not saying Catterall's Julio Cesar Chavez.
No, and we're going to talk about that he's not. But look, Catterall started putting the jab downstairs, then the straight left up top, and Eubank had nothing for it, just more jumping around. And I don't.
That was what he knocked Prograis down with.
Yep. He had Eubank off balance and confused. Look, this is just my opinion here. After what you just said, you might go, yo, I was going to say that. You stole my thought. Okay. Someone else stole it too. And I'm going to talk about how much I love the person who stole it from me, but I wrote it down first. So I have the proof. Harlem Eubank seems satisfied to stay jittery, avoid getting beat up and or stopped. And in his mind, not getting battered would have been a victory. And he got out of there with that. Not the way that I think he wanted to, but that's my opinion. That him and his camp, that not getting beat up or stopped or look real ugly was going to be a victory for them. That's my opinion. Catterall's jab was controlling everything. He'd occasionally put the straight left behind it. Last week, I said that if he picked it up in the second half, he could bust Eubank up. A head clash in the 6th opened up cuts on both guys. Catterall's was brutal. The doctor checks him, says to him, it's a bad cut. Do you want to continue? Of course, Catterall says yes. The crowd goes nuts when he says yes. The fight's about to resume. Then they pull out, being it's a wide shot. Hey, yo, right?
Yeah.
And as Catterall and Eubank are chirping at each other, ready to clash, right? Oof. I see this ref talking to two people in between the ropes, right?
Uh-huh.
And he comes back into the center of the ring and waves the fight off. So I don't know what's happening. I have no fucking deal. No idea what's going on. Because they had gone 6 full rounds and was stopping my head, but I'm just assuming they're going to go to the card. So I put my score down. You have to score that round, that one that didn't happen because it's like 1
Really?
second. Yeah. So I just
Okay.
always do 10-10.
Right.
But
Okay.
I realistically scored 6, but I just did a 10-10 in the 7th. So I had it 69-65. Judges had it 69-65 and 69-66 twice for El Gato, Jack Catterall. Before we talk about what's next for him, I just want to say that I believe, and Tony Bellew gets my vote for the funniest person in all of boxing anywhere, not just the UK. And I find myself laughing out loud at that fucking dry British wit.
Right.
He does not. He murdered this Harlem Eubank. I mean, cut a promo that Carl Frampton was fucking cracking up, and this guy didn't. He didn't crack a smile while he murdered this guy. He go, I can't believe anybody would possibly think anything other than this guy stinks. I don't. He flat out says, "Took my line. I don't want to see him again." So
Right.
it's kind of
Okay.
your line too, because you're like, I
Yeah.
don't like this guy, and I don't think he can fight. I don't want to see him again.
No.
I need to hang out with this Tony Bellew. Can this fucking can we get the hookup?
I can
Can
find
Adam
out.
make this happen? Adam, can I meet this Tony Bellew?
By the way,
and
did you
hang out
see
with this
Adam's
guy?
acting debut on Matchroom's IG?
No, I think
That
you
they, that
texted
they
me, and I
that
thought you were working me.
that they have that they had a skit,
No, you
and
said something
Adam.
about Adam acting, and I was like, why is he fucking with me now? Or what did Adam do? Like I thought
Oh,
Adam did
just
something.
it's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant acting. Sometimes less is more, and in the case of
I
Adam,
also want Adam to tell me if he finds Bellew as funny as I do in terms of like, because
I'm gonna send it to you
Adam
now.
has a very
And
dry sense of humor
yeah,
too.
all I'll say is, d design Giza.
Okay.
So,
I also grew up, um, your parents or siblings or someone older had to hip you to British humor if you're from Brendan and I's generation and grew
yeah,
up when we did, or else you did not know it. So if you weren't hip to it, it's probably really foreign to you. But I grew up on the young ones, Rick Mayo, all of that stuff, all of that stuff. Black Adder, Monty Python, because I have older brothers that were very hip to it. But there are tears rolling down my face when Tony Bellew talks, and he doesn't fucking laugh. And I don't even know if he knows he's funny. But him murdering Harlem, you got to go into there, B, and just fast forward to the post fight and just
yeah,
watch
yeah.
who's their guy that's always that interviews those guys in the ring. That kid's great. They all seem to like him and love him. The fighters, Eddie, he's always in the UK fights in the ring.
I don't know.
So it's him, Carl Frampton, and Bellew doing the after the bell thing.
Okay.
And bro, just do it, do it as soon as you can.
All right.
And Frampton can't keep a straight face, so he's trying to sell for him, and he goes, I can't stop. Oh, Carl's got that real thick brogue.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think they're being too hard on Eubank as he
Yeah.
laughs because Bellew's just murdering.
Is it Ade Oladipo, that guy?
No, I love that guy. That guy follows me. I love that guy. That guy's great. This guy interviews them in the ring, but it's always like at the UK things. He never comes here.
Okay.
He's great. As soon as you see his face, you go, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And they all love him and call him by his first name. So he must be like been around forever.
Yeah.
He probably started young and was but we gotta hang out with this Bellew.
All right. We'll try to put that together.
Yeah, guys, in the next episode later this week, we're gonna cover a big weekend of boxing. And this Billy Betts has got to get back into the swing of things. But for now, I said on last Thursday's show, this was a thin week. This week, not so much. A lot of big fights and a lot of stuff we want to talk about. So Brendo, tell them where everyone can
You can
find
find me
you.
at I_no_that_kid on IG, at the Killer B24 on what might soon be known as Twitter again.
Is that true?
No.
Oh,
Write us at kotbboxing@gmail.com. Follow us KEOTB Boxing on IG and KOTB Podcast on the YouTube. Write us at that email if you're a sponsor. And guys, remember to like, listen, and whatever, like and review, whatever it is you got
subscribe,
to
review,
subscribe.
all that
Whatever.
stuff helps our algorithm, guys.
Yeah. Vin.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who writes us nice little notes too. That like we get them through the day, and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You listen to work, we appreciate that. I have a new record out called God Sent Vengeance. Uh, if you're into streaming, which most people are, just go run that up. Y'all know where to find it. If you're into physical product, vinyl, CDs, cassettes, all of that, go to jmtstore.com. The two big drops that I've been talking about for months now. We've had some small issues, right, Billy? Some hiccups. Nothing that has just threw a little monkey wrench, but both will drop this year. The new video we said is coming soon. It's in its last stages of being edited. So maybe by the second episode this week, it'll be out. But jmtstore.com for the Knock 'em Out the Box shirts too. Big shout outs to Fadi Altal from Boxing Arabia. His shirt got there and he sent a picture of it. He reps the hardest of anyone for our show because he's around.
Shout out to Fadi.
Yeah, and Boxing Arabia. Guys, go follow Boxing Arabia because Instagram just translates for you. And he gets exclusive interviews with everyone and he does them in English, even though it's an Arab site and an Arab IG account. He does all his interviews in English. So follow his account, Boxing Arabia. Lots of followers. He gets everyone. And when I say everyone, if they're in Saudi and Riyadh, that's the Don. Shout out Fadi. Billy Betts. Next show this week, lots of money's gonna be been thrown around. Lots of.
Are you ready?
Are you ready,
Bill
Billy?
Yuns? Bill Yuns?
Who's coming? Who's coming
You
to the
could
party?
be.
Bill Yuns or Bindlesticks? Billy, what is your IG handle? Billy
It is
_
_. Sorry, that was almost keep my personal one again. That's
right.
Billy _ Bindlesticks.
All right, y'all. We'll see you on Thursday's episode. Billy, say goodnight.
Good night, Billy.